all the ways that I can train my legs with the equipment that I have. Hi, I'm Jonathan Pritchett with Theology, Geek, Fitness, and in 2024, I minimized the amount of fitness equipment that I have in my arsenal, either here at the office or at my home gym or in my travel gym that I keep in the trunk of my car. But I still like to get good leg exercises in, and I've found ways to continue to train my legs with pretty good results training at home. And so here's the way that I do it. And of course, with my leg workouts, I typically try to do a squat movement, a hinged movement, and work my calves. And then I throw in certain things like hamstring curls for fun. Or I'll do, to isolate the quads, I'll do things like sissy squats. But for squatting movements, I mean, a lot of times I'm just using a weight vest and a heavy sandbag. And that seems to get the job done. And then I'll immediately go into doing my calf raises with that to train my calves. And so with sandbags and weight vest, it typically is what I normally do for both my squats and my calves. But also there's resistance bands, or sometimes I just throw on a weight vest and use a suspension trainer or gym rings or something and just do the body weight squats with added weight on the weight vest. Or if I'm doing my sissy squats, I'll do the same thing with my suspension trainer or rings, hanging on to them for stability. I'm 48 years old, so you don't see me doing a lot of sissy squats unassisted that way. But resistance bands are also really great. One of my favorite resistance band squat movements is the Spanish squat. And you can add weight for that too if you wanted to. But I really do like that more than just kind of the front-loaded band squat. That's all right, but I like to do the Spanish squats with the bands. But you can train your legs any number of ways with that. I also like to do the single leg squat. And if you lean back, you can target more of the hamstrings. That's always a fantastic exercise. But I'm really more into bilateral exercises instead of unilateral exercises, so I don't do those a whole lot anymore. I used to, especially when I was using Undersun's program. They were in there a lot, but I just to save time. And of course, you can use resistance bands to train your calves, or you can use your body weight or whatever. But that's kind of how I do my squat movements. For hinges, I love to do swings. Of course, sometimes I'll use resistance bands to do deadlift exercises. But most of the time, I like to use like the filler bags from the sandbag or just the sandbag itself and do swings with that. And that's a lot of fun. For hamstring curls, I can use resistance bands for that. One of my favorites is the T2 ISO trainer, doing just suspended hamstring curls, but then going into the isokinetic body fight thing where it's becomes a unilateral exercise where you use one side of your body to resist the other. And that's a lot of fun. But sometimes I just use a normal suspension trainer for that. Resistance band hamstring curls are okay. It's not really my favorite, but that's one way that you can isolate the hamstrings. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. As far as like hip thrusters or glute bridges, you could use resistance bands for that. You can use sandbags for that. That works out really, really well. Or you can just do body weight off of a suspension trainer or whatever. All sorts of ways that you can train that way to do like hip thrusters or glute bridges. Sissy squats are great for isolating the quads, but like I mentioned before, sometimes I'm always doing that assisted with either rings or a suspension trainer. Makes my life easier. And then of course I love my mini bands. If you've watched any of my leg day exercise videos, you notice at the end I do side steps with the resistance band, and I'll do hip abductions with the little mini resistance bands. And I like to use those as my final superset in my lower body day. So that's basically what I'm doing to train my legs or lower body calves. with the equipment I have. What are you doing to train your legs? Massive 400-pound barbell back squats and all of that. Let me know in the comments what you're using. This is what I'm doing to train my legs with the equipment that I have, and I'd love to hear from you, and I appreciate you watching this video. We'll see you in the next one. God bless.